Amul might be joining in some time, but let's not stopping. Uh, Hope you guys can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So just a small recap, guys. So what we have done yesterday. So we continued with the alerts, custom alerts. Let's use the word custom alerts because they are custom made on web UI by the end user. Well, we also talked about the machine learning, algorithms, and then some brief discussion about the kind of difference between the machine learning rules and then the usual alerts that we create. And then we have we have taken one key figure, we have loaded some data into it, and there are some outliers um, in that entire data set. So we use the standard algorithm called dbscan, and we went with the automatic input parameters so that system can feed in the best fit parameters into it. So we have seen the alerts coming in for all the outliers that are there compared to that entire data set. So that way we can utilize the machine learning rules to identify the outliers in any of our planning results, or in any key figure, I would say. So then after that, we continued with the model configuration, so how we configure the entire planning area in the entire IBP system. So for that, we took a scenario called capacity planning, and then we'll keep on building on the scenario, on that maintenance planning. We'll see how where we should start and how we should proceed, and then what all elements will come into the picture. So just a kind of a recap is that so there would be a maintenance job. See, so a technician is trying to do something on a resource. I mean, here this just kept an image here. So there is a maintenance job activity, and then we need a location, the production facilities, or it could be DCs or warehouses, or it could be anything. Okay, and then we have the resources itself, the assembler lines. So so the entire objective of this entire scenario planning, the requirement is that the planner should be the planner should. Hey, sorry for that. Hey, so the requirement is that the planner should be, planning for all these maintenance activity, and he should be able to sequence out the maintenance activities, like, so at what plant, on which time bucket, any maintenance activity has to happen. So we went with a flag 1 or a 0. 1 means the maintenance will start in that particular time period for that particular location and a particular maintenance job. So so the planner should be able to go and maintain ones and zeros across the time horizon. um, and then system has to do some automatic calculations in the back end, and it has to do the subtraction of how much of the capacity will be consumed if a particular maintenance activity happens inside a production facility on a particular resource. So that we'll see for today. We'll continue with the entire configuration from scratch. And tomorrow, we'll try to build on that. We'll further complicate it, and we'll see how different key figures and planning levels comes in hand. Okay, so for today, we'll do one thing. So we'll create these three master datas: maintenance job master data, location master data, resource master data. But location master data is a standard master data, and this will be already configured in your system. If you have inventory optimization and the uh, I mean, location master data is like, it's already there in your system. So you can reuse that location master data, and then the resource master data is also there. It is part of the supply planning module. So the resource master data is also there. So only thing is that we're going to create a custom master data called maintenance job. So there we'll create custom attributes like maintenance job ID, maintenance type, maybe a technician name also will give. So one master data will create, and then the key one, um, the actual duration that this maintenance activity will take. That is the duration of the maintenance activity. So for that we need to create not a simple master data, but a compound master data. So compound master data means a combination of multiple master data. Okay, so um, yeah, we'll create those. So first I'm getting into the system, but for that we need first we need this section, this green colored section, this dotted line, that is the planning area. So first we need the planning area. So now I'm creating a planning area. No, I'm not creating a planning area, but I'll take a copy of a planning area. So this is my uh, mm, front end web UI. So there is a group called model configuration. So under this group, there are all these apps that are available, attributes, master data types. So you can see this 1692. There are 1692 attributes that are already created inside this system. There are 7367 master data are there. Reason codes is this is for for the jam purpose. You create a reason so that the planner can pick up a reason whenever he's changing any data, or whenever he's running any algorithm, or anything. So reason codes, time profiles, transport model entities. This is how you transport your planning area to a production, etc. So by using this app, sample
So
model.
Venkat,
Mhm.
hey, sorry to interrupt. So if I understand it correctly, the attributes, master data or time profiles, those are all like independent of planning area, right? I mean,
Yes,
those can
you're
be
right.
created separately. Okay, okay.
Exactly. But ultimately, they have to map to a planning area to actually use them, obviously. So,
Hey Venkat,
But it,
uh,
it can be used in multiple planning areas, right?
yes.
Okay.
So
hey
that's why you
Venkat.
can see here, this master data is outside of this green box. Yes, Abhinav.
So those 700 odd attributes or master data types that you have, that is
Mm.
created in this IBP server, correct? But those are not standard. Those include custom as well.
They include custom as well. Yes. So like, I
Okay.
mean, see, if you create, I'll show it to you. Yeah, we'll go there. So yeah, so per sample model entities, there are 294 planning areas were already being created in the system. There's an app for key figure calculation. This would graphically represent your calculation in a tree diagram, what all key figures will go inside, like any key figure calculation and their planning levels. And then the main app, that is the configuration app itself, where in this also you have shortcuts for all the attributes, master data, time profiles, and etc. etc. So we need to go to the sample model entities. So here we can see what SAP has already configured and gave to us. So the left hand side, you see there is this scroll bar here. There is a planning area called unified planning area. The technical name is SAP IBP 1. So this is a planning area that encompasses all other, modules, except for order-based planning, which is like response and supply, which is still evolving. It's not yet stable. But all the time series, all the control tower, demand planning, supply planning, inventory optimization, and the sales and operations planning. So all the functionalities were constituted in this unified planning area. So different sections here. There is information section. So here you can see that this enable supply planning is on. That means this planning area can take the supply planning algorithms, all optimizer heuristics, etc., etc. Enable external time series is off. Enable change history is on. These are the time settings. This is a time profile that is being used. These are the planning horizons, days, weeks, technical weeks, month, quarter, year. So there are 1095 days in the past, 730 days in the future. So it's like, total 5-year time profile, 3 years in the past, and then 2 years in the future. Um, this is a time profile that is being used. The 12 is the ID that is being time profile. And then there are, okay, what happened? I think I clicked on that. Going back. So attributes. So there are 105 attributes in this unified planning area. Okay, so you can see here the attributes are mapped to a master data ID. So there is this aggregate, this is supply planning related master data assumption category. Not sure what this is. Maybe this is for reporting or something. So the batch description, batch ID, batch product, expiry date. This is all shelf life related stuff. Components, currency. Components means the product master data would be extended, and a reference product will be created. So we'll see what is the reference master data. So, or let's dive in. Why to waste our time? What is a reference master data? Reference is another master data type, so that you don't have to upload the same data more than once. For example, you can create the currency master data type as a reference master data type that uses the currency to master data type. For example, you load dollar, and then rupee, and then pound, etc. So, but the same records will be referenced to another master data called currency 2. So there is something called currency master data and currency 2. And then there's another master data, compound master data, where we have something called exchange rate. So the exchange rate will say that $1, 1 rupee, the exchange rate is 68 rupees. Just like that. Eaches, sorry, not eaches, a base unit of measure. So you load a base unit of measures, eaches, cases, cartons, pallets, etc. So those records will be extended to another reference master data that's called unit of measure 2. So now you have unit of measure, and there's another master data called unit of measure 2, and then you have unit of measure conversion factor. So one case, unit of measure 2 is each, is conversion factor is 6. Okay, Another example, reference master data. So take a transportation lane. So there is this plant, and then there is DC, and then there is a big warehouse. So, you load three locations. There's a plant, there's a DC, there's a warehouse. But when you map a transportation lane, you say that the plant will send to a DC, the DC will send to a warehouse. So there is a compound master data where you specify this transportation lane where you have to give two locations. The location is ship from location, and then the location, that is the destination location, and then the product that it is shipping, and then the mode of transport, blah blah blah. So here in the ship from, you load plant, DC is the location. Next record, ship from is a DC, location becomes warehouse. So what are we doing here? So we are loading the location entries into another master data type called ship from location, which is a reference master data, which reads the values of its referenced master data. So in that case, you don't have to load the data twice. So and we cannot actually load data into this master data. So if we come back to this example, the components, so we cannot load any data, like for example, you're making the smartphone and then you need a chip, you need a speaker. So but you load them, you load the smartphone chip and then the speaker as three different products, but inside there is a reference master data called component, which would extend these as a component, so that you can use this in the BOM item, and then you can say that I need two speakers to make one finished good called smartphone. I need one chip to make one finished good called smart, etc. So we'll understand. I mean, eventually, we'll go there. So yeah, there is a compound master component master data, and these are the attributes that are mapped: component product ID, component description, component family, component subfamily. And then there is a currency. It has two attributes: currency ID, currency description. And then there's another master data called currency 2. This is a compound master data. So you can very well click on this. System would take you to that master data. So this is currency 2 is a technical name. The business name is a target currency. Description is target currency. The type is a reference master data. This is it is referencing IBP currency, and this is IBP currency 2. So it is used in master data 1. So if I click on 1, it shows the exchange rate. So now if I click on exchange rate, system would show you exchange rate has three attributes in it. You see there are three assigned attributes. First is currency ID, next is target currency, third is exchange rate. And these two are key attributes. So here you will maintain currency ID is dollar, currency 2 is rupee, exchange rate is some 0 point something. Going back, so you can see the navigation, right? It is so smooth. So yeah, we'll get to understand, because we'll spend a lot of time on this. So whatever doubts you guys have, it will eventually kind of simple common sense kind of a thing. So yeah, so we are continuing with the master datas that are available in the sample planning area that SAP provides, that is unified planning area, SAP IBP 1. Currency 2, uh, customer channel, customer country, customer description, customer group, customer ID, customer region, customer sales representative, customer sales VP, the customer is valid or not. So like when you guys are implementing, let's say the first thing you guys are going to do is take a copy of this unified planning
Uh,
area.
well said. So, can we refer or can we move this to, there's a term, right, in ECC, phantom assembly.
Sorry, what's that?
Phantom assembly, where actually we group the different components together, but that is not actually we use in the calculation. Phantom assembly, like for example, a
Phantom
car.
assembly, you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So can
sure.
we relate this to
Uh,
this?
Relate what?
to this like compound master data?
Uh, no, 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 no. No, compound master data is like so let's go here. Let's also talk about this compound master data. Compound master data. Where's my cursor? Come on. Yes, compound master data. It combines two or more master data to represent a valid combination of the component master data types. For example, you use the product and the customer master data types. As not all products are sold to all customers, to represent the valid combinations of products and customers, you create the customer product compound master data. So you're getting. So when a key figure data containing the keys, product ID, customer ID is loaded, the system checks again the component master data type for valid combinations and stores data only for those. For example, there is a customer master data and then there is a product master data. So let's talk about the attribute called a customer ID for my time here. Okay, so customer is Amazon, let's say Reliance Digital, and then maybe eBay. Coming to the product, so I have my Galaxy Note, 9, Galaxy Note 10, Galaxy Note uh, 11. Okay, you have these three products. So now you don't want to sell all products to all the customers. Maybe Galaxy Note 11 is the advanced one, is a new version, and you want to launch only through the online channel. So you want to make this product available only to Amazon customer. So you create another master data called as a, this is called customer product. So this is already there. I mean, I'm just, we don't have to reinvent this. So this is customer product master data is already there. A compound master data, which is formed by combining two master data, customer and product. So now here I'll say this is Amazon, this is Amazon, and then here I'll say Reliance. Reliance will have only the past products, I mean the old products. eBay is like, completely old. So only Galaxy Note 9 would be there. So these combinations were being loaded into the compound master data called customer product. So now if there is a key figure like, like let's say demand planning forecast. So now if you run a forecasting algorithm, then system will never ever create for a forecast for eBay and Galaxy Note 11. It will never do that. It will never create a forecast for it. Neither it will not have any sales history for it. But anyway, I'm just saying that. So let's say this is adjustment. So demand planner adjustment. So the planner wants to manually go and adjust the this thing, some kind of promotional adjustment. So he can never ever adjust the demand for the product Galaxy Note 11 to the customer called eBay, because in the first place the product was not mapped to the customer, and the mapping, the combinations was being maintained in a compound master data called customer product. Now let's go back again. Let's read it one more time. Now, compound master data combines two or more master data types to represent a valid combination of the component master data types. Components. So I mean, components means the simple ones. I mean, in this example, customer is a component, product is a component. You combine both and then you call them as a compound master data called customer product. So for example, you use the product and customer master data types, as not all products are sold to all customers, to represent the valid combinations of products and customers. you create the customer product compound master data type. When a key figure data containing the keys, the key product ID, the key customer ID, when they are loaded, system checks against the compound master data types for valid combinations and stores data only for those. Another I'm extending on this.
Hey, Venkat.
Let's say that. Mhm.
So can we say the compound master data is more like a CVC?
Um, um, mm, so what is MPOS then? MPOS is creating a combination, right?
No, MPOS is where we'll define the characteristics, but the combinations is CVC, right? The master data.
Hmm, not sure here because there's another concept called planning level. So there you actually create the right combinations for a
Okay.
particular key figure. So we'll go there. Huh? I mean, once we complete the entire model config, then we can come back
Sure.
on all these stuffs. Now there is another thing. Let's say so there is another thing called unit price, the price at which you want to sell all these three products. Now tell me. So when you want to load this unit price, as a business requirement, you have to think that where should I map this attribute to what master data? Should it be a part of product master data? So can I go and say that my Galaxy Note 11 is $150? So can I go and say that? No, it might not make sense because if you don't have the customer dimension, the unit price will not make sense. That means I'll sell the Galaxy Note 9. Let's talk about Galaxy Note 9. If I'm selling it to Amazon, I'll sell it at a different price. I'll just sell it for $130 because of the kind of agreements that I have, the trade agreements with Amazon. Amazon being a partner, a prime partner, blah blah blah. So for customer, I have a different price. For Reliance Digital, I have a different price. eBay will have a different price. So now this unit price attribute, it shouldn't be a part of the product master data. Like we have seen different attributes like product ID, brand, product family, base unit of measure, this and that. And it also shouldn't be a part of customer master data where customer is customer region, customer channel, customer sales representative, blah blah blah. It shouldn't be a part of that. It should be a part of the customer product master data. So now here I'll go and create the unit price, and then for Amazon Galaxy Note I'll say this is $130, and Reliance Digital it is maybe $110, and then also eBay is kind of it's where all the cheapest or old stock sale happens. So there it is $90. So now you guys are understanding, right? So specific data points, they should be part of compound master datas to give them more meaning. So that's it. So that is another use case where the compound master data comes in handy. And trust me, you guys are going to create lots and lots of compound master data. I mean, if we revisit our example, so here, so our ultimate thing is that in this we have the maintenance jobs. So yesterday also we're talking about the same, right? So like there is this maintenance job called chemical cleaning, and then there's a dry vacuum, and then etc etc. So now this maintenance, and there is an actual thing that is called duration of this maintenance activity. And then we said that the duration is changing based on based on the resource. No. Inside the resource also, if it is, it also depends upon the type of resource. Sorry, I don't know how. Yeah, I think I need to rephrase. Duration of the maintenance activity is depending upon the location and then on the resource. So a type of like resource, like if it is a manual assembler, the same chemical cleaning activity takes 10 hours. If it is a robotic assembler, it will just take only 2 hours. So my duration will make more sense if I have other dimensions with me. I need a resource dimension, location dimension, maintenance ID dimension. So for that I need to so now we'll also create another compound master data called location, resource, maintenance job. Okay, so in there I'll say that this is my location, and then this is my resource, and then this is my maintenance job, and then mm, the actual duration. So here I'll go and I'll say, yesterday we talked about this. So this is this plant 101, the resource is R assembler 101, and then the maintenance job is let's say chemical cleaning, and the duration is 10 hours. Same plant, but if it is a manual assembler, same job, but it takes 5 hours. Plant 201, uh, manual assembler 2.1, chemical cleansing, it takes just 2 hours because 201 is my smallest plant, etc., etc. So this duration, which is a key, like we use these duration hours based on the flags that the planner will specify, that if he says the chemical cleansing has to happen on this resource inside this plant, so we'll take this 10 hours and we'll subtract 10 from the actual standard available capacity of that resource, and then we'll come up with the final available. So yeah, so the duration has to be part of this compound master data. Okay, coming back here, let's quickly go through what all master data are available as a standard in the sample planning area. There is customer, and then there is this customer product. You see there is this market family, and obviously market segment. So these compound master data, there are these three. So market family, like Amazon and Galaxy Note, they belong to one market family. Amazon and Galaxy Note 10 might belong to a different family, and etc., etc. And market segment, minimum required shelf life. Again, say this required shelf life, a same product in different customers can have different shelf lives, etc., etc. Because some customers might require that, I need a minimum of a 30-day shelf life thing. So but for kind of a what is that, wholesale customers, so they obviously sell in bulk. There's a huge product movement happens, so they don't care even if the shelf life is like 5 days or just 3 days. And that is what happens, right, in all our wholesale things that we see here. So we'll get cheaper products, but if we turn back, if you see the date of manufacturing, that would be quite old. So all that old stock would be sent to all this wholesale, because the people will be desperate to buy products which comes in cheap, and yeah, etc. So yeah, so minimum required shelf life, this attribute will make more sense if I have both customer dimension and product dimension. Delivery master data, lag master data, location master data, location description, location ID, location region, location type, location valid, whether it's a valid or not. Location FR, the ship from location, you see here. Location FR, ship from location description, ship from location region, ship from location type. So this is a reference master data. Location product, extending a product to all the existing locations. Distribution type, frozen horizon. Planner name, planning unit, to what planning unit that it belongs to, it's a subnetwork. Service level type, stocking node type. Location 2, this is now ship to location. So there are two dimensions here. One is supply and receipts. Once we go to the supply planning, we'll know. Yeah, I mean the same location is extended to another reference master data called lock 2. Earlier it is lock FR, now it is lock 2. What is the difference, boss? The difference is that there is the plant, there is a DC, and then there is a warehouse. Okay, so plant. So you have in supply, you have two key figures. One is a transport supply, and then there is a transport receipts. Receipts is from a receiving location perspective. Supply is from a supplying location perspective. So here there is something called log, and then there is log 2. So if we talk about this transportation, what is lock? Plant. Lock 2, that means location 2. It is sending a location 2 called DC. This is week 1. It sent 100. Now the transport receipts is from a location receiving perspective. Let's say the lead time is 3 weeks. Okay, so here it is supplied on week 1. It is visible on a key figure called transport supply, but the receiving would be displayed in transport receipts key figure. On week 3, the 100 would appear here. In between, this 100 would be available in the in transit supply and transit receipts. So now coming back to transport receipts, so this is from a receiving location perspective. So here I'll have the location ID and then the ship from. So ship from is same, ship from is planned, location ID here is DC. So now what is happening? So the same location plant and DC, they were being extended to location master data, location to master data, ship from location master data, log to log FR. Okay, so you don't have to load data for ship to location and location from master data. You just load data into location master data, system would extend it to all the ship from, ship to. Okay, so and when planner, if the planners from a plant perspective, they want to see what goods are going out, they always want to refer their location in the location ID. The destination would be available in the log 2. So the planner from the plant, he opens, he sees transport supply, he knows that okay, on week 1 100 units are moving in, week 2 50 units are moving in. That's it. That's all he's worried about. He never worries that when they'll receive. But from a DC planner, when he opens it, he opens from the location dimension, and his location is DC, but there is a ship from, which is a shipping location, that is a plant, and then he sees that he's receiving week 3 he's receiving 100, week 4 he's receiving 50. Okay, so yeah, we'll go to the supply planning there. Yeah, we can deep dive into this. There would be some deployment scenarios, we'll cover it there. But just understand this, that a location would be extended to two reference master datas, ship to, ship from, and you don't have to do anything. The config is already there. You just load only location master data, and then you maintain the transportation lane master data. System is generous enough to do the internal mapping. Just run your supply plan and you see all these results, that maintain lead time and see what is my supply, what is the receipts, and the different master data. Okay, planning unit, this is where you specify like the sub networks. You see the entire network could be segmented into multiple sub networks, and then so that some planners are responsible for southeast region of your supply chain, or maybe the South India sub network, etc., etc. Is IBP priority? Not sure where this comes in. Next is a product master data. It's huge. There's so many attributes in here. ABC ID, ABC locked, brand, category, MAT type ID, material type ID, PLM status, product description, product family, product group, product ID, product subfamily, base unit of measure description, base unit of measure, XYZ code, XYZ locked. And trust me, when you are implementing it, every company will have a different product hierarchy. They would come up with different attributes. They want to see, okay, now I want to see some stock related data also. I want you to create stock ID, or maybe a demand point, and etc., etc. So at that time you have to create the custom attributes and map them to the right master data, right? Production resource, that means so this is a different thing, and this is mandatory attribute for production resource. 1 second, guys. Yeah, so there is a master data called production resource. This signifies the production resource. So the actual, the way the production happens. So there are other resources like, the inventory handlers and storage resources and etc. So those should be maintained in another master data called, where is that? Uh, there is also a transportation resource. Where is that resource? Okay, there is transportation resource, fine. There is a resource master data, fine. Production resource, fine. Transportation, that's it. What happened to the location resource? Okay, maybe it is not, so, here is the thing, guys. I mean, just don't get confused, that, here in the system will not repeat any attribute twice. Okay, what does that mean? So if I go to the location product, oh, come on. So in the location product, actually there are, these many attributes are already been mapped. See, there are so many. And then the key ones are the location ID and product ID, obviously, right? You need those two to create one location product master data. So you can see the description is location product, type is compound, and it has been used in 8 planning areas. The component master data types are location master data, product master data, and then you also create other uh, you know attributes in here. So you see assign location ID, product ID. So if I go back here, but it is not showing location ID, product ID here. Why? Because they were already been listed in another master data. So location ID is listed here, that's why it is not repeating it. Okay, so don't just it's kind of, might confuse you guys, but I would suggest you to actually go to that master data and see for yourself that what all master attributes are there. Okay, so that's why, the other resource is not coming in. There is also something called as a location resource. Location resource is meant for the storage resource and etc. Okay, and then there are planning levels. These are the planning levels: calendar week, product location, aggregation, calendar week, product location, customer, etc. So this might overwhelm you guys for now, so let's go step by step. There are attributes as key figures, there are normal key figures. So there are 496 key figures that SAP has given as a standard. Okay, and then you can take these and then you can start tweaking them. For example, there is a key figure called alert capacity overload. This is an alert key figure. So if you click on this, system would display in a graphical representation. Okay, where is that? Okay, I think for that you need to go to a different app. So this is a key figure, some key figure options, whether it's edit allowed, it's not editable, aggregation mode, blah blah blah. Let's go to the calculation definition. The calculation definition is that ALRT, capacity overload, if utilization percentage is null, that means there is no utilization, then there is no alert, zero. But if utilization percentage is greater than threshold, capacity overload threshold, then yes, it is more utilized, then you want an alert, so then pass on one. So this is a standard calculation definition which SAP has written and which SAP has configured. So now if you don't want, I mean, if you say that I don't want to go with this definition, I'll go and hard code that if utilization percentage is greater than 99%, then give me an alert. So then fine, so you can very well go and change your calculations, and then create your own, or maybe create a different key figure and then save it. Then your planning area will have a total of 497 key figures, etc. Okay, and there are planning operators, and then there are versions: baseline, downside, upside. So this is what about the standard one. So anyway, we'll take a copy of it, and then we'll do our entire training would be on that, that copy of this thing. So I'll go here. There's a copy. So there is a download. So if I download this, system downloads all these different things into CSV files so that you can analyze on them. Okay. I'm creating a copy. There are four options available: create new with dependencies, merge with existing, replace existing, include dependencies. So we'll go there, but for now we'll take the create new with dependencies. That means creates an exact copy of the source planning area with a new ID, obviously, and copies the master data types and time profiles of the planning area as well. And it's not just the master data and time profile, but also all the key figures, etc. So I'm creating a copy. So now you're creating a new planning area. Give an ID. So I'm giving a test config 01. What? Test config 1. I think there is a, you cannot keep more than, let me just give test config on you. Time profile, new create, you give a new time profile ID. I'm just giving 348. The source prefix is IBP. So if you have seen, every master data has a prefix of IBP product, IBP customer product, etc. But now I want to give a target prefix called C01, and then these are all the applications that are available, and then you are copying all the applications. If you don't want, you just pick only inventory optimization. So all the key figures and master data are relevant for inventory optimization, only they will get copied. Okay, click on copy. So copy started. Okay, it is saying that prefix already exists. Okay, great. So I'll say C02, I'll say config 2. It will take few minutes.
Hey, Venkat, till that time, what do we mean by source prefix and target prefix? What's that?
To uniquely identify your master data.
Okay, so our master data will start with those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes,
naming convention.
exactly.
Okay, thanks.
Because you have seen 294 planning areas, and I'm sure that 80% of the planning areas are a copy of unified planning area. That means a product master data was been copied 289 times, and with the unique prefix, you can segment all those master data. Like planning area 1 will have a different prefix, planning area 2 have a different prefix. So that's how you it's the same product master data, but it has been segmented onto different master data. Copy complete. You want to navigate to the newly created item? Yes, navigate to the item. So it will take us to the planning area. Edit header. So I'll give a new name. Save. So we saved. Go to the attributes. 50. It is showing 50, but it's not 50. There are so many. So C0 to location, C0 to location for C0 to location product, etc. have been created. Key figures. 496 key figures already been created. So yeah, but they all are inactive. You see, inactive. So let's activate this. So where were we? So we are in this process now. first define the model. I defined the model. I took a copy of it. So now, once I activate, I'm activating it. Then I load some location master data, resource master data, and then there's nothing to use. But we'll continue with this, and then again we define our you know maintenance jobs and all those master data. Okay. So yeah, why to activate it? Because activation takes some time, and let's go and create our master data for the maintenance jobs. Okay, going here, clicking on attribute, it will open up an app for attribute. So this is a configuration screen, guys. So here you can see everything: the attributes, master data, time profile, planning area, planning level, key figure, versions. So clicked on attribute, it opened up an app for the app for attributes. So if I first scroll back,
Hey, Venkat, did you just hit the home button to go there?
which one?
So how did we
This
just come to this screen?
this screen.
Yeah. So we were
Yeah.
in the model. So to come back to the screen, do we just hit the home button or?
No, home button will take you to the entire, the home screen of it. So I clicked on the under the model configuration. There is an app called configuration. Where is it? Configuration. So this is from here. You can navigate to all other different elements of your planning area, like
Got it.
attributes. And so I clicked on attributes. So it opened up this app. So there are 1,692 attributes are already been created. If this is back, and also I'm just showing you the app name. Come on. Model configuration, attributes. Click on this app, or you can also in the configuration you click on attribute. This would open up. So obviously a filter section on top, like in every app. So there's a filter always. It shows all the 11692, and some are active, some are inactive. um, the length of that attribute, the data type, whether it's a varchar, a decimal, or integer, or what else we have? I think a timestamp maybe. And then the length, master data types, to what all master data this has been assigned to what all planning areas that this has been assigned to. Okay, the time profile. So clicking on new, I'm creating a new attribute. Simple and straightforward. So let's create master attributes called C02 maintenance job ID. So varchar length is 10. Click save and new, creating a new one. What happened? It is saying that it's already there. Okay. I forgot, guys. Let me see the. We'll follow the consistent naming convention. C02 M job ID. Okay, create new. C02 M job description. Why too complicated? Just tip this. C02 maintenance job type. 20. Save and new. C02 M maintenance job technician. Okay, say just we'll create a 3 thing. Let me edit this. Say I'll take a 30. Okay, 3 attributes were being created. Um, and then we'll also create the duration. C0 to M job duration. One second, guys. So I'm saying this is decimals because 10 point, it would be in decimals, 10 point, 5 point, etc. So I've created 4 attributes for now. So now let's go to the master data, and then, and they all are inactive. Let's go, and I'm clicking on the master data types here. It would open up the master data app. So we'll create, see, maintenance job master data. Location is already there. Resource is already there. Again, a filter bar on top, and then there are 7,412 master data are already there. So click on simple. So 5 options. Clicking on simple, I'm creating a simple master data. It's called maintenance job. This is the general information about it, the ID and the name. Now comes the assigned attributes. Okay, so I am adding it. It will give me all 1696 attributes that are available inside this system. Filter on C02. It give me all. So I'll not pick up all except the duration. I'll take the job ID, job technician, job type. Click on OK. So 3 are being added. So now I'm saying the job ID is a key, and then it is also required. Click on save. So that's it. It has been saved. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
we got a quick question.
mhm.
So why did you just keep the job ID as the key? What is the significance?
Like, I mean, like the ID, I mean, there has to be a key attribute, right, which holds that entire record. If you don't have that record, you will not create any records for this maintenance master data. So like here, the chemical cleaning is one maintenance job, and then dry vacuum is another maintenance job. So there has to be one attribute which is a key. If you don't have the key attribute, then the other attributes will not be loaded into the system, and you cannot actually create a record for the maintenance
So
jobs.
can we say that job ID is the one which is basically used to create even the compound master data?
Yes.
But we cannot use job technician or job type, or can we use them also?
We can very well add, but you need a key attribute to key attribute has to be added to actually form a compound master data.
Okay, so compound master data can be only be made with key attributes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So I mean so you'll just add the so you'll just say that, I wanted to create a master data by combining 3 master datas, master data X, Y, Z. So the moment you say that I'll take all these 3 XYZ master datas, system would auto extend the key attributes into that compound master data. So we don't have to go and do anything, like we'll just do it now. So yeah, for now I have added them, and the type is simple, the status is inactive. I need to go and activate it. Want to show the active master data, activate. So while activation, it just creates, I'm activating master data, guys. So activation is successful. It became green in color. They all are active. If I come here, if I do go, all the, see, they all became active. The 3 became active. but even then they all would be outside of the planning area. So I created C02 attributes, and then I have assigned them to a master data type. So now I can also assign them to another master data, MD2. I can assign to another master data called MD3, because the attributes lies outside of everything. So the independent one. So you assign them to a master data, and then the master data is dependent of the attributes that are already been created. Now this master data, you create them, you activated them. Once you activate them, then you further extend this to a planning area. So now the master data that I created, that is C02 and job, so this could be part of test config C2. It could also be part of test config 3, also part of test config 4. Okay, just go with this diagram. So they lie outside of it, so you have to extend this to a planning area to do planning on that master data. So
Venkat,
this is
last.
done.
So
Yes, go on.
so whatever custom attributes that we create, we can assign it to multiple master data types.
Yes,
Custom
exactly.
master data types. Okay, thank you.
Yes, yes. So now creating a compound master data. C02 lock resource M job. This is a location, resource, maintenance job. Okay, it cannot take more than that. So this is a compound master data type. So component master data types, what all master data you have to add here? Click on add and say C02. It will list all the master data that are there with C02. So I'll pick up the C02 location, and then where is the resource? C02 resource, and then our C02 maintenance. Where is that? Component master data types. I have added all these three. So it has extended the location ID, the key of the location master data, resource ID, the key of the resource master data, M job ID, the key of the maintenance activity. So now here I also add the duration, maintenance job duration. Okay, now I'm saving it, activating it. Activation successful, status is active. Cool. So now go to the planning area. So not this page. So this is where you kind of read all the stuff, but the actual configuration will also be done in this page inside the configuration app, planning area and details. Click on this. So I have opened multiple pages. That definitely hits the performance of the system. Okay, test config 2. Yeah, test config 2. This is active, right? Cool. Test conf 2. Test configuration 2 just created today, and some information about the planning area here. So we'll focus on our this thing. So the maintenance job. So okay, come back to the section. So this is a section where you assign all your master data. There's a drop down here which has three things: available attributes, selected attributes. That means the attributes that were selected for this test conf2 planning area. If I go and do a search for CO2 M job, just got struck.
Why is this planning area still inactive, Venkat?
Because we didn't activate it. We just did a copy. That's it.
Okay.
We have to activate it, and the activation will take some time. So I
Okay.
didn't activate it. That's why. So the M job is not popping up here because you haven't selected this to the planning area. You haven't extended this to planning area. I'm talking about this step from here to here. Okay. So go click on available attributes. Why it is so slow? Okay. So now this search here, C0 to M job. Now it is displaying it here. So if I extend this, expand this, you can see all three. Click on this. Oh, why it is so slow? So all three are all three are selected, and then also click on this. You select. So now you can ask that where is the location ID, resource ID. They will not be appearing because they are appearing at in a different master data. So system will not duplicate the entries. So it's kind of a the challenge that we have to live with. So yeah, so we have assigned it. I don't know why it's not selecting. Anyway, fine. I'm saving it. Now I'll trigger the activation now. Let me just reconfirm whether this is selected or not.
Why the duration? Great.
Yes, we will go there. Okay, so it seems that it is not been selected. Go to available once again. Location, resource, M job. Hmm. Just give me a minute, guys. So let's come here, edit. So this is too early to talk about attribute as a key figure. That's fine. Okay, so 4 attributes: job ID, location ID, resource ID, job duration. I'm adding a new one. No, not adding a new one, creating a new one. You can create an attribute inside the master data itself. So let's say C02 M job priority. So I'm just this is just to give a priority that high, medium, low chemical cleansing in plant 1 on a robotic assembler is a very high priority activity, but whereas dry vacuum is not that priority. So just just for some reporting purposes, just giving 10. Save. It has been saved. Saving it. So now if I come and see that M job, it will not appear in here. Come on, why is system would hang? So why? So that attribute will not appear because you haven't activated it. You have to only if you activate it, it would be coming in here. So there is no priority, right? So now I'll come here. Hmm, bloody hell. Okay, just leave that. But we need to trigger the activation. That's why all this fuss is happening. So for now, just forget about the duration part. Why this is grayed out, we'll go there. This has to be this has to be marked as an attribute as a key figure because it's a decimal value. So we'll go there. So once we get into the key figure, we'll understand it. So let me save this. Let me trigger the activation first. Okay, triggering the activation. So this is a button, activate, the green one. Target for activation, test conf2. Include the related time profile and master data types. Check full log to see the activation. Activate. Activation has started. See the log for check result. So there is this log here. You can click on this and open the logs in this app. A pop-up appears and it will show. Or you can go to a dedicated app for the application logs, where all the everything that has been done inside the system would be tracked, and a log will be created. So you can also go there. So there is uh, application logs, you see, under the general planner. Click on application logs. Again, a filter on top. System is so slow. So this is the first one, I foundation. So 846, schedule activation as an application job, test config to PA, planning area. And then 286 dependent objects, just checking all master datas, some warnings, checking the relationship of the model entities. So it will take some time. And just another thing, that at any given point of time, only one planning area can be triggered for activation. You cannot, schedule two planning areas for activation at the same time, and one activation is going on, another planning area cannot be activated, because system is actually literally creating some kind of a database and artifacts and permissions and everything in the back end, so it cannot do it for two. It will just take a minute. Hey, I'll just be back in a minute. This will take, some more minutes. Hmm? So it seems it was taking. Okay, I think, yeah, it is clean up old objects for test config too. Yeah, now I think it will get done. So, so regarding this activation thing, we have to bring some kind of a process discipline into it when the actual, development happens in your projects. So, obviously, a particular time would be allocated for the activation run, because while the activation is happening, people cannot access the planning area. Means they cannot do analytics or get into Excel sheet and do all the planning, because it would be get locked. They'll get an error message saying that the activation is going on. That's number one. And number two, um, uh, you know obviously there will be different teams working on in your IBP system. There would be demand planning team, if there is inventory optimization, if there is control tower. So a lot of people will be doing lots of different things inside the planning area, right? So if you're doing something and if you're done with it and if you trigger an activation and whoever is working on it, so their changes would get lost. Or maybe you might even get an error message saying that you know uh, uh, you'll get an error message that if he has done an incomplete configuration, right? So like there would be a time dedicated for, like, in the offshore working hours, so we'll drop an email. And usually in the client business hours, we'll not trigger the activations, because we want the planning area to be active and fully alive for the clients to access and do their planning. I'm talking about, I'm not talking about the production environment, huh? So I'm just talking about during the configuration itself, during the development itself, testing phase, etc. So yeah, so has to be a discipline in triggering the activations, and the team has to be notified that an activation would get triggered at so and so time, and please be done with your changes, whatever changes that you guys are doing. Hmm?
So Venkat, a quick question while the activation is happening. So just like any other system, does IBP also have like a development landscape, quality landscape, and a production landscape?
Nope, it will not be like that. So you'll be getting only two landscapes. One is one system for all your development, QA and sandbox and everything. Basically it's just a planning area, right? So when I say sandbox, it is just another planning area where you play around. If there is a key field calculation, you go there, write it, you see whether it is working or not, etc, etc. So the two systems, one is the a production system where you have the planning area active for production planning area, and then you'll obviously have a kind of a copy of it, production backup in your in your QA landscape, and then also you have the development planning area and etc. So yeah, two systems. That's it. That's what SAP gives.
Okay, so if I got you right, once we log into this front end, if we select the development planning area, then we are in the development system, and if we select the production planning area, we are in the production system.
You mean to say the front end interface?
Correct. So now
Yeah.
if you hit the home
So
button, we get to decide which planning area we want to
no,
be.
no, 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 no. This is for the entire system, because see in the so it would be a different server link. First of all, a different server link, a different user ID password for production planning area, a production system, I would say, not planning area. And the QA system will have a different link, different user ID, different password. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Next, in the QA, there would be different planning areas. Like here, I showed you 295 planning areas are there. Now I can navigate between any planning area, and I can create an alert for any planning area that were already been created under the QA system. So under the QA system, you create your planning area for your production backup, and then your golden config, your development planning area, and etc. So yeah.
Got it. So basically, we have different links for different landscapes.
And there are only two landscapes.
Got it. And do we still move them via transports?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, thanks.
So our test CONF2 has been activated. It's taking forever to. Before that, let's create a connection for our test config too. Click on log on. There are available connections there. Picking up config, editing it, create, edit, delete, duplicate, set as default, report, local connection folder. Edit it. The connection name is configuration. I'll give two. This is a server link, and then look up the planning areas. So system would connect to the backend HANA system. After the authentication, in the drop down, you will see all the planning areas that are there. 237 planning areas found. Go to your test conf 2. Where is it? T. Yes, test conf 2. Okay. So this is the server, test conf 2. Click on OK. Log on. Now you're inside your test config 2 planning area. There is no data now. It's a bad request because there's a time profile, so it is saying cannot create time bucket data for planning area. So time buckets is an important thing. We specified a time profile, but we didn't loaded the time periods. So we said 384 is our time profile, and then we haven't loaded any time buckets into it. Let's load the time buckets into it. Going to the home. Data integration jobs. So this is where we load data manually into the system through a flat file upload. So I'll create download template. Template of what? It's not. Is it a master data template? Okay, let's download a master data template. What is a master data name? Come on. C02 M job. Come on, please. Okay, M job. See, maintenance job activity. I'm downloading a template. And I'm also downloading a time period. What is our time profile name? 1 second. I don't know why it's still loading. One second, guys. Let me delete the cookies and stuff. Maybe if that can help. It's been a long time. It's still taking a lot of time. So yeah, before that anyway. So this is the template that has been downloaded for the master data called maintenance. Close this. So you see, it has 3 attributes. The one that we have configured. Just now going here, and I'll say chemical cleaning, dry vacuum. Uh, what else we have? Um, Anything that we can think of? Oil wash, maybe. So technician name is John. John, maybe Steve. What is the job type? This is preventive maintenance. I think the spelling is wrong. Like whatever, leave it. Then this is shutdown maintenance. So I loaded my data that I want to load into the master data. So saving it, close that template, planning area. Okay, let it take some time. So let's run that template. Now I'm running a job now. So click on the plus, new import job, master data, giving a name, loading for C02M job. This is the master data that I want to do an import. Browse. The template has been loaded. What is operation type? Insert, update, save. Okay, it's all failed. So this is a red color, you see. M job, timestamp, insert and update. 3 records failed. What is that? Download, or maybe click on initial problem report. Maybe it is because the time profile isn't been loaded. Unable to read file. Length of input data is too large for column on. Length of input for column on. What's wrong? I think we gave, or is it more than 20? Whatever. So think I gave 20, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is fine. Maybe this preventive, I will say preventive. This is shutdown. Running it again. Browse, pick up this template, save. Okay, now there is a triangular orange color processing. Total records 3. It will take some time. Let it take some time. Now go back to our planning area to identify what is the time profile. Test config 2. So the initial time profile that is there in SAP IBP 1 Unified Planning Area, the time profile was made for 5 years, 3 years in the past and 2 years into the future. So as we have copied that, the same would be created for our test conf 2 also. 348 is our time profile. Let's see whether this is done or not. Okay, this is successful. Three records were successful. You can download the log and see it. Now I'm downloading a template for time profile. Drop down, come on. Time periods 348, 348. And then you can't obviously load all 5 years, all in years and months and quarters and weeks and days. We can't do that. So I'll say that with new time periods, download. So now system would auto fill in all that stuff. All that 5-year data has been auto filled in. Save here. So now see 348 is a time profile name. This is a template, the 340 KB. So I'll go back here. I'll just use that. So this is one nice option. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Drop down. Now I am loading time periods. New import job time periods. Into what time period I want loading? 348. Browsing. No, not this. This would fail. 348. What is operation type? Okay, that's fine. I hope it is 348. Yes, it is 348. So there are 7,456 records out there. Those many days and weeks and quarters and months and years. So means system has intelligence that today I'm loading 5/6/2019. So system will load for future till 2021 of 5th of June. So system has that. I mean, system will, we don't have to go and recreate all the time periods. We can very well do, but it will take a lot of time. So here, if you have observed, there are 4 options in the data integration job. One is insert. I think you guys are all know aware of it. Insert and update, delete, and replace. Right. So what we just loaded, we loaded one maintenance job master data, and then there is this job ID, and then there is this job type, and then job technician name. Okay, and then what we loaded, so let's just say that we loaded chemical type is shutdown, whatever, XYZ. Okay, so now come on, I have this phobia or some kind of disease, guys. I have to, whatever I do, it has to be done properly, otherwise I can't take this up, especially the beautification part. Please bear with me. So yeah, this is there, that is loaded in the S4, I mean in the HANA system. So this is already been loaded, but now you're trying to create another new file, a flat file, or maybe an integration job coming from S4 system. Okay, this is template. This you're creating, you downloaded a template because you're not aware what all attributes are there. So now here you're saying, if you say this is chemical shutdown. Now it is not John, this is Steve. And then you say this is oil cleansing, and this is also shut down. This is also Steve. So now if I run this in insert and update mode, what would happen? First, what would happen is first it takes the key ID, that is job ID, it checks in the system that it is there or not. Chemical is there. So what it will do, it will update. It will update the job type with this. Shutdown would be copied here. It is shutdown. That's fine. Job technician name is Steve. Here it becomes Steve. Next record in the flat file, oil cleansing. Is there a ID in it? No. Then fine. Then just insert everything here. Cool. Got it?
Hey, Venkat. In the first case, the reason it replaced John with Steve was because we gave job ID as key.
No. So the operation is insert or update. So if the records are already existing, the key records are existing, the key attribute is existing, all other attributes would be updated. If the
Okay.
key attribute is not even existing, then it will, insert that entire thing.
Okay. So
Okay.
basically, when it compares the key
Key
attribute
ID.
value.
Yes. Key attribute is the key. So yeah, the name itself is saying. So it's kind of a primary key in the DBMS language. So
Right. Right.
SQL language.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, in the backend, it's all tables. So even though we see it here, it's all tables. I mean, SAP is table. Everything is table, rows and columns. Second type of operation. So let's say so chemical shutdown, Steve. Now run it in the in the delete mode. So what happens is, again, it checks for the key ID, chemical is there. Now it will just delete only this. Okay, we use the import job mode of delete to delete the records that we want. So if there are 10 records in here, if you want to record seventh thing, so now just pick up that seventh and then put it in a flat file and then run in delete mode, and it will delete the seventh record. Okay, so now here if you say dry vacuum, now if you run in replace mode, what system does is it will replace all the existing master data with the one that you're putting it in the flat file. That's the thing about replace. Okay, replace is, I mean, our time profile is successful. 7456 total records, all are successful. There is nothing rejected, and that's fine. So you understood, right? This is a replace mode. So be very careful, guys, because if you run this in replace, it will throw. I mean, if like imagine product master data, there are thousands of products would be there. So now you want to add another new 1001 product, but if unfortunately if you load that flat file which will have only one record, that is 10,001 record, and if you run it in replace mode, all existing 10,000 would be lost, and you will have only one product. And if the product ID is lost, all the key figure data is lost, all the demand forecast, supply, this and that. Because if the key is lost, I mean, if that record is lost, then system would also delete all the compound master data. It would delete the key figures and whatnot, everything. So it's a complete mess. If that is the case, then you have to reach back to SAP to have the backup of your instance. Like, then they'll do a retrieve and then they'll give it to you. It's kind of a big mess. Yeah. Okay. Yes, we're done with that thing. Now let me go to the configuration to login. Now the login will happen. First time login. Okay, so now I'm going to the master data workbook, remember? So if I bring up the maintenance activity, click on OK. So three things that we just loaded: chemical cleansing, dry vacuum harvest. So maintenance job ID, maintenance job technician, maintenance job type. And so let's do one thing, the resource and location, we'll load it tomorrow. And then tomorrow we'll also create the planning levels and then the key figures. And then, we'll start running our engine. So tomorrow we'll create the key figures, like what is the standard available capacity, and then how I need to maintain the flags, and if I maintain a flag, that is one, that how the capacity would be reduced, all calculations, etc. We'll see tomorrow. Okay, so just a recap, guys, what we have done today. So done some stuff today. So we went with the sample planning areas, and we had spent some time on SAP IBP 1, and we took a copy of SAP IBP 1, and then we have seen like what all different key figures, and like what is the standard config, and if we take a copy, everything would be copied, and there is a prefixes, we have to specify the prefix, we have to give a new time profile, and then you save it, a copy of it would be created, it would be an inactive status, and we have seen what all master data are there, and etc. And then we created a custom attributes. I should have given Z, but that's fine. We went with C02, and then we created a simple master data and a compound master data. And then we extended this master, and then we activated them. If you don't activate, it will not be appearing in the planning area screen. Then we have to extend the master data to the test conf2, and then we saved it and activated it. Activation is done, and then we can see the status getting changed to active, and it took some time. It created all the databases so that we can load the data into the system. Then we wanted through the data integration job, we loaded the mjob MD, and then we can see when we download the template, the structure that we had built, that is mjob ID, mjob type, mjob technician name, and the attributes, and then the data types, and etc. Whatever the structure we had built, that template would be downloaded into a flat file in the CSV file, and we can give it. So it threw an error because the type, I think I gave 20 character length, but shutdown maintenance, maybe it is exceeding that length, so it threw an error, and then we minimize that length, and then we loaded back, and then it worked. Loaded the mjob ID, and then we have seen the time. We'll also loaded the time profile with a new time periods. Okay, and we have seen the importance of having a time profile being loaded with the time periods. Otherwise, you cannot access the planning area. And then we have seen the different modes in the data integration job. All insert, update, and then replace, and then the delete. So once the jobs are done, we verified the master data through Excel planning view, through Excel interface. I'll say not planning view, because there's no planning view, it's just an Excel, and then we brought the data. Okay guys, tomorrow we'll